2012 Nissan Frontier. Gonna do spark plugs. It's got a 4.0 V6. It has 3 coils on the driver's side and 3 10mm head bolts to hold the coils down. I removed the 3 10mm head bolts and then I disconnected the coils from the connector, and the push tab is on this part. It's right there. You'll push it in and you'll hear it click. And then you can pull these off and you can twist and pull the coils up, okay? This is what the coils look like. They got a little bit of a flex to them, not much. This is what the bolts look like. Passenger side. I disconnected this vacuum line, has a spring clamp on it. Pushed it out of that retainer over here. It's open on one side. Got it out, I flipped it up there. Bent this connector down a little bit. Removed my 2 bolts from the 2 coils on the passenger side. Unplugged my coils, same thing. Same style connector. Push in the tab. You'll hear it click, okay? And next, I twisted and I pulled the coils up and I got them out. Now for this one here, a little bit tighter. All right, the bolt for it is up here and the connector comes down over here. Can't really get to it. So what I did was I reached a little long flat blade in there and I pushed in on the clip. And as I pushed on the clip, I got this other long flat blade down in there and I pried the connector off. Like I said, when you push in on the clip, you should hear it click. All right? And then that's when you can go ahead and pry the connector off. What I did was I stuck it in there between it and I twisted it and I pushed it off. All right, got the connector off and I got me a 10mm wrench and I ran up underneath there and I broke the bolt loose and I kept on doing it till it was pretty loose, and then I can get my fingers in there. I got on top of the bolt. And I did this like 20 times till the bolt was unthreaded. And then I pulled the bolt up. And then pulled the coil up. Pulled the coil up. And then you really can't get it to go anywhere. But I got the coil up in there, just like this. Push it up as far as I get it, and then I pushed it like this, like that, and I pulled the coil like that. Let's see if I can push the coil back in there. All right, I got it out. Well, we know it comes out. All right. I might have to have 2 hands. Give me a second. Okay, got the coil in there. It's loose. Brought it up through over here, twisted it a little bit. Add more over here. Brought it up over top over here. And there it is, it's out of the hole. So I brought it this way, okay? When you're going back together, you wanna make sure you push this inside the tube. The tube is the shiny thing, see it? See the rings of the tube? All right, so you wanna make sure you push this back inside there. All right, now we can get our spark plugs out with some extensions and maybe some swivel spark plug sockets. Alright, get them all out. I used, for this one, first one over here, I used a swivel spark plug socket and also a swivel. That way it went around that thing a little bit and around that plenum a little bit. And this fit right down inside the spark plug tube. So it wasn't kinking inside there or anything, it was nice. Alright, time to get the new ones. Alright, get your spark plugs out of the box. Inspect the gap, make sure they're not smashed or bent up. Inspect the inside porcelain, make sure it's not cracked or loose. Rub your dirty fingers around on the porcelain and inspect it. If it has a crack in it, your grease from your fingers, the dirt will show up in the crack. Alright? Now they inspected all mine, they all look good. So next you want to do is just put a little dab of some grease there, or some anti-seize, something like that. Not a lot, just a little bit, okay? And then get your spark plugs down in there and get them started. And go ahead and snug them up. And then you want to torque them to 18 foot-pounds. Alright, next you need to do is prep your coils. Get some dielectric grease. Just get a little bit on the end of a small screwdriver. Stick it inside here and rub it around inside there. Mix it around in there really good. That will help keep it from carbon tracking from dust in the future. And also just go ahead and rub your finger in it and rub it around on the boot on the top. That will help seal it from the elements, you know, dirt and water. Okay? Just rub your finger around them. Make them a little bit shiny. Okay? And then they'll be ready to go and be installed. Alright, spark plugs are in. I'm going to put the first coil in there. Shove the coil in through this way. Get it like that. And then you got to fish the end of it past that spark plug tube ring. You see the ring? It's a tube, but it looks like a ring from up here. You got to get that down in there. At the same time, try to hold your coil up straight so you can push that in there. I don't know what way's easier, with the coil turned or if it this way. You know, with the connector facing the front. I don't see how this way works. I'll push my boot inside that tube. And once you get that boot past that tube, inside that tube, you can just drop it down in there. Turn your coil proper direction here. Alright. Drop it down in there. And next you can go ahead and line up your connector. And get that started down there. That'd be good to have a flat blade screwdriver down there at the same time and get it in there. Let's see. Might be easier with the coil bolted up too. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my bolt down in there and tighten my coil up. Put some little bit of anti-seize on your threads on your coil bolts, and then just snug them up and give them a little umph. They're just there to hold the coils down. Okay, I got it. I had to use these two fingers, and then I also rolled it. Okay. And I got my wrench in there and tightened it up. And then I guided my connector on there, and I got my screwdriver in there and pushed it on. Now I want to do my other two. Put my bolts on those and then put my vacuum line back on and putting a little faster and bend my connector back up a little bit. And that will complete your spark plugs, okay? Hopefully I helped you out. If I did, hopefully you can subscribe to me. And hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.